In a time long, long ago, nestled by a sparkling river, was a village. Here, life was very different. No loud machines could be heard. There was a young boy named Sam, and he loved watching the farmers in their fields. With strong arms and simple tools, they carefully planted tiny seeds and harvested good food and tended the sheep. When the harvest time came, everyone worked together. Hands picked plump berries, and sides cut golden wheat. It was hard work, but filled with happy songs. Sam asked and was allowed to train as a shepherd. It was an easy job. Up in the pastures, all he had to do was look after the sheep. An adult shepherd introduced him to the job. What fun! It didn't take long, though, before Sam wanted to play. He tried playing with the sheep, but they only wanted to eat grass. After a few days, he was bored. Then he had an idea. He decided to play a trick on the town to have some fun. He looked around and decided what he was going to do. He sat on the rock, stood up, and he shouted, "Wolf! Wolf! Wolf! Help! Wolf! Wolf!" Then he chuckled to himself. What a great trick. They'll all have a good laugh. What fun. Down in the town, the busy people were working. They heard him and ran up the hill as fast as they could. They needed to save the sheep and save the boy from the wolf. People of the well, they heard. Everyone was on alert. When the townsfolk arrived at the top of the hill, they found nothing wrong. The sheep were happily grazing, and they found the boy sitting on the rock, laughing. He thought it was a big joke. It was not a joke to them. Nobody found it funny. He changed his attitude, and he dropped his head in shame. He couldn't face them, and he turned away, so they couldn't see him. They approached him, and they told him he was a trickster and a liar. The people of the town continued their work. The next day, roofers, putting up buildings, blacksmiths, farmers. After promising not to pull that trick again, Sam was allowed to return to his shepherding duty. So he was up in the pastures alone with the sheep. And again, it didn't take too long before he was bored. He was sucking on a piece of grass and wondering what on earth he could do. The sheep clearly didn't want to play with him, so what was he going to do? In the end, he gave in to temptation. He cupped his hands around his mask, opened wide, and shouted, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! Help! The wolf's coming! Wolf! Wolf!" Once again, many people in the town heard him calling. They stopped what they were doing and ran. Surely there must really be a wolf this time, so they ran to the pasture as fast as they could. Now they were really annoyed. Once again, they found nothing wrong. There was no wolf, the sheep were perfectly happy grazing, and Sam was sitting on the rock again, really laughing, very angry with him. Once again, the crowd approached him as he held his head low in shame. They told him that he was abusing his privileged position of being a shepherd. Over the next few weeks, people in the town continued with their activities. Some people were making new buildings and putting new roofs on. People worked in the fields, harvesting crops. It was hard work, but they needed to eat. Life continued. Everybody had their role and their job to do. To work the well and use the river and the stream. It is that the town said now, up in the hills and the pastures, there really was a wolf. And the wolf was terrorizing the sheep. Sheep were terrified and ran as fast as they could away, but the wolf was catching some of them. Then they avenged many sheep. Poor sheep were lying down and hurt. One by one, the wolf attacked sheep. Just as if it was a game, he ran and hurt as many sheep as he could. The shepherd boy was terrified. He didn't know what to do. He was calling for help, but nobody was going to come and help him now. What if the wolf attacked him? It was bad enough that the wolf was attacking a sheep. The town caravan were business. A few people heard Sam, but they didn't really recognize that he was calling sheep. Even if they weren't going to pay any attention, the boy was a trickster. He was not to be trusted, and he was constantly fooling and wasting our time. Sam carried on as normal, totally oblivious to the fact that there really was a wolf attacking the sheep. As far as the town folk were concerned, it was just a regular day, the weather was wonderful, sunny, beautiful, and they carried on with their work and their duties. In the evening, the adult shepherd arrived at the pasture to relieve Sam from his shepherding duty and allow him to go home. Things were not right. To his horror, even though many of the sheep were continuing to graze on grass, a lot of them were lying down and had blood on them. They were quivering in fear, obvious that they'd been attacked, and it was pretty obvious that a wolf had been there. Eventually, he found Sam sitting by a rock, and he was really upset. He was in tears and trembling. Sam told him what happened, that there was a wolf, that he wasn't hurt, but he was really upset and felt terrible. The shepherd escorted Sam back down the hill to the town. As they entered, other people saw that Sam was really upset and concerned. The shepherd had to tell the townsfolk why Sam was crying. Sam was really upset, and Sam knew that had he not played his trickery with her, people would have come to the aid and saved the sheep. Never mind, he was learning his lesson. He took Sam to see some of the elders, who understood the situation as well. I spoke to Sam and asked him what he had learnt. Sam sheepishly admitted that he was a fool who had played trickery to Sarah, and learnt his lesson. If you tell lies to people, they'll never believe you. And he promised never to tell lies again. I don't think he ever will. He learnt his lesson.